Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the Ted Show. I hope you're enjoying today. Happy Friday for those who celebrate. I hope you're having a blessed, good Friday. I know I am, and I'm super excited to have my dear friend. He's smart, he's funny, he's got great ideas, he's a real estate guru, in my opinion. Steven Emanuelli is with us today, and we're going to talk about never stop believing in yourself. We've got some cool stuff coming up. Steve's got some great ideas. He's going to share some wisdom with us. Welcome back, Steve. How are you today?
Oh, such a great experience to be on this show. This show is definitely like an encyclopedia. You never know what you're going to learn from it.
Thank you. Well, I'm excited for you to impart some of that wisdom, some of the Steve wisdom on us. But before we do that, the audience loves origin stories. So if they missed the last time you were on the show, tell them a little bit about you and kind of your journey to here today.
Well, you know the story. You said you got to fake it till you make it. That's what I did in real estate. Um, I I worked in restaurants and the bars all my life. Worked in a restaurant called the Capitol Grill for years. I met some great people, but they never knew I was a realtor because I was so ashamed to tell them I was a realtor as a waiter. Because some people don't want to, have someone with just two different jobs. They need one person. So yes, I did deals in the bathroom. A lot of people didn't know about it. I used technology, Ted. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
then finally one day, my wife looked at me and says, "You got to decide what you want to do." I'm behind 100%. So the COVID came along, and I think that gave me a sign that I had to make a difference. So I gave it up, and the GM was supportive of Capital Grill and decided to go in 100% in real estate. And I tell you, it wasn't an easy journey. It was tough, a lot of faith in God. And I tell you something, that's when finance came along because I counted everything, I net gross everything. I knew where my money's coming. So finally, I balanced myself and took this job, which a lot of people I don't understand, real estate or be a lender in the title. You got to take your job serious if you want to be successful. That's the fact.
Do you feel like your experience with Capital Grill, your customer service, your friendliness helped you in your real estate journey and career?
In any hospitality business, not just, I worked in some crazy nightclubs back in the days when South Beach blew up with rock and roll and drugs and everything. And, I tell you something, if you can't open up to a bunch of people, let's just say I was like a therapist behind the bar. So when I approached tables, people used to come up to me. It's been a long day. They just want to have a nice drink and enjoy themselves. But if you
Yes.
come to that table shy, frozen, man, they just don't want to open you up and tell you anything. So you have to jump in and say, well, look, you ain't going to talk. I'll talk. And that's how little by little I became a great person to the point I had the vice president of Nike as my regular all the
Wow.
time. And I had some other celebrities that became one of my favorites. You know, um, After years and years, I just start learning that it says, I have a skill, and I went into real estate.
Well, I think a lot of times you're the therapist, the priest, the pastor, the counselor. When you are a bartender or work in service, and I look for a regular. I
Yes,
enjoy that kind of rapport, and I think that in our industry, people forget that that can apply here too. If you treat them well, communicate with them well, they come back to you. That's how with building your database is about and your referrals. And at some point, you begin to be primarily referral oriented. And I think our industry as a whole forgets how important that is. It's not about the next deal, it's about the relationship.
Tab, you said something important about referrals, and people forget. One of my greatest mentor is my coach from the core. He told me, he says, if you're in real estate for the money, you're in the wrong business, brother. He says, real estate is not about the money. It's about referrals.
Yes.
It's about referrals. Having that client base build up in your database over and over. Once you build up your referral and your client base, money comes in naturally.
Okay.
I totally believe what you just said, Ted.
Well,
100%.
you're a great example of that. I think the follow up and the care and the compassion. I think a lot of times our industry people make the mistake of looking at it as a transactional rather than a relationship based business, and so they're wondering why they're constantly spinning their wheels, why their pipeline dries up, why they don't have any new deals coming in and nothing on the horizon. So they're out there scrambling, trying to find some new business. When if they just took a little more time up front and built those relationships and maintained them and worked at them like any relationship, it would be so fruitful for them. And it's not just realtors, it's loan originators, it's title people, it's anybody in our industry. If they did a better job of what you're saying, it would be so much better for them. So let me ask, because we had questions before we went live, before we take a deep dive in what the title is and the event that we want to do. Tell me your perspective about the real estate market. Anytime I have a realtor come on, the audience always wants to know, oh, I wonder what he thinks. So tell us what you think's going on and how do you see us wrapping up 2022?
I think real estate I'm in 13 years in this business. I think real estate has gone down from customer service 100%. I'm hearing the feedback. It's not the people who are having a hard time finding a home. It's just the communicating with title, the lenders, and realtors. These are the things I'm picking up referrals. Here's a great story. I closed the deal. I represent my buyer, and the listing I went to, the homeowner says, I'm communicating with you more than my own listing agent. Isn't that incredible? That is incredible.
I hear that a lot, believe it or not. The ones like you who do what you're supposed to do, that person is missing out on the other end because they're not taking care of that client. They'll come back to you every time.
Absolutely. And you know what the biggest thing that people don't understand is being something that's important. Be consistent. Oh, that's such powerful. And have good habits.
Yes.
And people says, I want to reach my goals. And when you don't reach your goals and your habits, you wind up in a dark place and you get so down and you don't believe in yourself anymore, or you don't have the right people that says, hey, Ted, you're doing a great job today. Well, I love telling stories about an example, because when I help my son or I help any of my friends, I have people that leave the company I work for, okay? And I work for Coldwell Banker, but I'm doing a shout out for them. But they learn so much. But I have people that left other companies I work for that still call me and just out of the blue, 2:00 in the morning, and say, Steve, I'm so lost. I'm so upset. I'm so angry. And I said, talk to me, even though he's not in my office and I'm not making no money off it, he needed that person. And I told him one thing: you got bad habits. You got bad habits. You're not consistent, brother. And he goes, how can I work on this? I says, look, meet me tomorrow. I'll meet you at Starbucks and we'll have a cup of coffee. And this is so funny, is that when I tell people this, you can bring a horse to the river, Ted, but you can't make him drink, and that's about life. And I learned. And one thing I did that changed my life was about habits. And I one of my greatest book was sent to me by a broker from another firm office. And my wife goes, somebody just sent you a present. And I'm like, I opened the book and look what they gave me. I don't know if you read that book.
Atomic Habits. We talked about it when I saw you at one of my last events.
Oh man, so powerful. And if you read this book not once or twice or take notes, you can learn these habits and you get your mind focusing about the good things and learn that little things could change by little habits and you could grow. And I tell people, if you really want to grow in your life, in your real estate, as a loan officer or in a title or any industry, you got to get good habits, but you got to follow the good people. Like I follow a group that's been helping me a lot, because there's some powerful entrepreneurs out there, and There's also people who are therapists on this group, and it's called Atomic Habit Uncensored. Go to this group. These people have educated people and helped me grow, because I'm going to tell you a little secret, Ted, you never knew. And I'm going to tell everybody, I'm not ashamed. I fell in a deep depression one time. So deep that my wife was worried about me. But I had to realize that, you know, I had to change. I had to do something today, because I saw more of my friends were falling in that hole. So I started posting things and doing little small videos on my social media about positive things, not about real estate.
Right.
And it's only I get people, Ted, will say, hey, man, what you just said to me, I love it. Thank you.
Yes.
That's more powerful than anything.
Great.
And I do the same thing with my buyers and sellers. I will walk in, I tell my buyer, let's walk out of this house. And he goes, why? Because I don't got a feeling for this house. Because we remember you said in the beginning, it's about referrals, man.
Yes.
If you are not honest with your clients and you think about just selling that $1 million house, knowing there's problems, and you're worried about that commission, I'm gonna look in the camera right now. You're in the wrong business.
Great. No, you're not taking care of people at that point. So let me ask you. One of the reasons we're doing the show, we're going to plan something cool, all your brainchild. I'm just happy to be on the Steve Emanuelli train for this one. You want to do something positive, motivational, inspirational. Tell them a little bit about that. Let's give them kind of a sneak peek on what your idea is and what we're going to try to provide to our community.
Here's what I'm going to tell you something about motivation and providing. Look, if you're running an office, a manager of a brokerage, whatever it is in this business, once in a while, get up from that chair, walk by the hallway, go tap someone in the shoulder and tell them, you did a great job this week. Hey, I just saw your numbers. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, John. This is an excellent job. Hey, we just got an email by one of your clients says you did the most amazing job. I just want to say personally, thank you. Because one of my good friend, his mother is a CEO of his company up in New York, and she runs his company. You know what she said? I have so many trophies I get. I only get it once a year to tell me I'm doing great. For years, I didn't get nothing.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy, Ted?
It's crazy.
You, Ted, you every time I see you, you always smile. You take a minute and you get up and you shake my hand. How many events have you gone to and people walk by and don't even say hello to you?
Every event. Literally.
They're
Every
free.
event. It's insane. I agree.
That's my way to motivating someone. Appreciate people in your office. And you know what? If you're on your cell phone, put it down, call someone in your database and say, hey, Jane, I know you worked with me been 2 months in the office. How you been? What's going on with you? I haven't seen you in the office. Just want to see if you're okay, or is there anything I could do to make your life better? You got a second, come by anytime. Those little things, Ted, some people will. That's why a lot of people jump from office to office to office, because of what? It's about the numbers.
Yes.
Not about communication anymore.
So what are we gonna do? What's your idea for something we're gonna make it industry? We'll maybe.
I got a powerful one. Are you ready?
Tell me, give them a sneak peek of what we're gonna plan and do in the next month or so.
I already been talking to you, Ted. Let's stop this lunch and learns about. I know I'm going to get attacked. Everybody does lunch and learns about home repairs, title companies. Let's have once in a while, Ted. Let's you and I find some kind of motivated speaker, someone at a church that's not going to be coming in here and just start preaching about God, or preaching about, hey, everything's going to be great. Because you know what? If there's a lunch and learn that's from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock, and you have some guy come out there or some woman come out there and says, I was here, now I'm up here, and I'm going to show you how to do these things so you can wake up. That's what I've been telling you, Ted. And I know a lot of people need this. Who cares? How many lunch and learns I get bagels, sodas, and everything to learn about in home inspections? We all know this, right?
Yes.
And we know about titles and lenders. Everybody's great. But we're going to, between you and me, Ted, and I know you got some sleeves up your sleeve and connections and some of the people I know. Let's do this. Let's do this for the community. Let's get these people together. And this is not just for realtors. This is for people in the title companies. They're stressed out. Go talk a title. They freak out. They go crazy.
Well, I think all of us are in that boat.
Yes.
It's been a very crazy 2 years since COVID. I think a lot of people have done a ton of great business. But we're all mentally, soulfully, spiritually, physically exhausted on some level. And I think it is a great idea that you have. And I have some ideas and some speakers, but we want to put something together. And Steve and I are going to work on that. Maybe he'll bring in some people, but I know I definitely want to bring in some people that I think, because I think you're right. We need, when we go to industry events, I'll use those. There's an education part that's important.
Yes.
But I think we don't do enough stuff for the spirit and soul.
Love
and
it.
that's what we need to do more of as an industry, take care of each other and do good things. All right. So you and I will have to come back. You're going to have to tell me more, and I want you to share more as we begin to announce and plan and do all of this.
Oh, I can't wait to do this with you, Ted, because it's going to be even involved with social media. Yes. So then somebody can wake up 2 o'clock in the morning and they can log on and help. And with your love and your attitude and personality, Ted, I think there's going to be a light at the end of that tunnel for everyone.
We want it to be a light, right? All right. So Steve, tell them, we don't have a website yet. We're working on one. Tell them the best way they can find more about you, Steven Emanuelli.
Well, you can always look up, just type the word Steven Emanuelli on Facebook. And I have my business page. Also, my Instagram is called Steve Looks, because I look around and I see things that just interest me, and I do post it. And these are the things I do. And sometimes people don't like what I post because my wife says, see, because you say it like it is. Some people don't want to hear the truth. And I'm sorry if it offends you. And my mother says this: be yourself, because those people don't pay your bills.
That's right. I appreciate your opinion, but you're not paying my bills, so I'm going to keep doing what I want to do. You know, I love and appreciate you. Never stop believing in yourself, the one and only Steve Emanuelli.
I love you, Ted.
I love you. I will tag you again. You guys reach out to Steve. He's just as wonderful to talk to as he is on the show. This is no pretense.
Look forward to always be on the show, Ted. Thank you.
You absolutely love and appreciate you. God bless you all. Everybody have a blessed Good Friday and Easter, if that's what you celebrate. We'll be back soon. Bye, everybody.
Take care.